Today's lesson is going to be about substitution. Now, you've done substitution before, but we need to really master this skill in order to find the nth term for the linear sequences that we've been looking at. So we're going to be applying this skill of substitution to the linear sequences in our next lesson. So that's why we're recapping this again, because I want you to feel really prepared for that lesson on the nth term. So I'm going to go through an I do, you do task. And like in a lesson, whatever I write down for the I do task, you need to write down as well. When it comes to the you do task, I'm going to be telling you when to pause it to answer the question, and then you can press play to check your answer is correct and correct it if it's not. So, first of all, this first question here, we've got y equals x plus 2. So we've got an equation here. We've got two unknown variables, y and x. The question says, find y when, and we first of all want to find out the value of y when x is equal to 0. So we want to find a numerical value of y when our x value is set to equal 0. So we're going to substitute x equals 0 into our equation. So I'm going to just rewrite my equation, y equals x plus 2, and I'm going to substitute the x for 0. So I get y equals 0 plus 2. So y is equal to 2. And that is my answer. Question 2 says, find y when x is equal to 4. So again, I'm going to start by writing out the equation that I'm substituting my values into. Y equals x plus 2. Now x is equal to 4. So before, where I wrote a 0, this time it's going to be different. It's going to be a value of 4 plus 2. And we're going to see how our answer differs when x is equal to 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. So y is equal to 6. Okay, so that's a really simple example of substitution. We should all be remembering now the method of substitution. So let's look at this next example. Y equals 2x plus 2. This time we've got an x coefficient that's greater than 1. This means that we've got a number in front of our x variable that's greater than 1. We've got two lots of x. So we're going to have to remember what 2x means. It means 2 multiplied by x. So find y when x equals 0. Just like before, I'm going to start by writing the equation that I'm substituting my values into. Now I'm going to substitute in 0. Now look what happens when I put just a 0 where the 2 is. I've now got y equals 20 plus 2. But we just discussed then that 2x means 2 lots of x. 2 lots of 0 is not 20. So whenever we have an x coefficient greater than 1, it's a really good idea to put our substituted value inside a bracket. And we can see here now that we're actually doing 2 times 0 by introducing that bracket. So y is equal to 2 times 0, that's 0, plus 2. So y is equal to 2. We're now going to go through what happens when our x value is equal to 4. So again, writing out the equation that we're substituting into, y equals 2x plus 2. I'm going to rewrite this as y equals 2, and then inside bracket, because I've got an x coefficient greater than 1, So I'm going to be multiplying my x value by 2. So I'm going to write my x value in a bracket. Y equals 2 times 4, which is 8, plus 2. So y is equal to 10. We've got a few more examples to go through. Looking at this example here, I've got y equals x over 2 plus 2. Now we need to remind ourselves, what does it mean when we've got this fraction line here? What mathematical operation does this fraction line represent? It actually represents divide. So before, in the previous example, we were multiplying. This time we're going to be dividing because we've got that fraction line there. So when x equals 0, we've got y equals x over 2 plus 2. I'm going to now substitute my value of x, which is 0. 0 over 2 plus 2. Now 0 divided by 2, well, let's think about it. Let's split 0 into 2 equal parts. It's just going to be equal to 0. So we get y equals 0 plus 2 and y equals 2. Now let's have a look when x equals 4. So again, we're using the equation y equals x over 2 plus 2. This time x is equal to 4. So y is equal to 4 over 2 plus 2. Now remember, 4 over 2, that is the same as 4 divided by 2. That fraction line means divide. So y is equal to 4 divided by 2, which is 2, plus 2. So y is equal to 4. Our last I do example, we've got y equals x squared plus 2. So remember, when we're squaring, we are multiplying a value by itself. So let's start off as writing our equation, y equals x squared plus 2. I want to find y when x is equal to 0. So I'm doing y equals 0 squared plus 2. 0 times 0, that is just 0 plus 2. So y is equal to 2. And then our final example is to find y when x equals 4. So again, we're doing y equals x squared plus 2. This time, x is equal to 4. So y is equal to 4 squared plus 2. Now remember, I said when we square something, we multiply the number by itself. 4 times 4, that's 16. So we've got y equals 16 plus 2. So y is equal to 18. Now, if you didn't get all of my solutions copied down, can you go back through the video and make sure every step of my solution is copied down for all of those questions? You're now going to have a go at this you do task. So the first set of questions, you're going to be doing these here. So write down the question, pause the video and make a start, then press play when you are ready to mark it. So I'm now going to go through the questions. So you should have already gone through it in your own time. You should have got y equals 3 plus 3, which is equal to 6. Y equals 9 plus 3, which is equal to 12. Can you do the same with this question? Copy it down, pause, answer the question, then check, then press play when you're ready to check. So for this one, you should have got y equals 3 times 3 plus 3, which is y equals 9 plus 3, which is equal to 12. And here, y equals 3 times 9 plus 3, so y is equal to 27 plus 3, which is equal to 30. Now, can you do the same for this question here? So pause it, write it down, answer the question, then press play when you're ready to check it. So we should have got y equals 3 over 3 plus 3. Y equals 3 divided by 3 is 1 plus 3. So y is equal to 4. And then when x equals 9, y equals 9 divided by 3 plus 3, which is equal to 3 plus 3, which is equal to 6. And the last question, this time we've got an x cubed. So remember what I said x squared was? It was the number times by itself. Have a think what x cubed means. So have a go at the question, pause the video, and then press play when you're ready to check it. So for this one, we've got y equals 3 cubed plus 3. Now 3 cubed, that is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times by 3 again, 27. So we have 27 plus 3, which is 30. When x equals 9, we've got y equals 9 cubed plus 3. 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 9 is 729. 729 plus 3, so we should have got 732.